guys, I hope you're doing well. If you haven't seen part 1 of the elemental series, then go ahead, stop this video and go ahead and watch that one quick and then come right back. I'll even drop the link to that video down in the info below so it's easier for you guys to find. Now, if you have seen it, great. We're going to dive right into Elementals part. Talk about the missions of the Elementals. Now, their main mission is to take care of the earth and everything in nature. They avoid cities but are often very active in countryside, provinces, and natural areas. Air spirits control the wind, the flow of our currents, and all atmospheric conditions. They also help birds migrate and flowers pollinate. Air spirits influence the tides, precipitation, and the climate. Also work on cleansing the bodies of water that have been exposed to pollution, as well as clearing and cleansing all human emotional pollution. Spirits cause earthquakes, floods, gales, thunderstorms, and wildfires. Also create, sustain, and restore natural things. They clean the imprints of man's negativity that is actually left on the earth. Fire spirits ignite fire and sustain all life in this world. They are in charge of keeping everything going, from creation to transformation to destruction. Also absorb mankind's crimes and hatred, as well as nuclear energy. Just keep in mind that although elementals contribute to nature, some can actually be malevolent. Now we're going to talk about where to find them. Now, earth spirits, you may find them in rocky places, quarries or mines, cliffs, forests, dark places, under bridges, within tree centers, and near vegetations. Most gnomes can be found in rocky places, although some actually reside in households. Dwarfs usually vacate mines, so think of the 7 dwarfs, and trolls often like cliffs, dark places, and bridges. Fairies, being close to nature and natural nourishers, are often within tree centers. Elves have the same calling, so they are often in forests or parks. And pixies can be found wherever there is vegetation, whether the vegetation is decomposing or not. Now, to connect with them, you want to focus on your intention of meeting them. You can touch the soil, grass, tree, rock, or any natural thing, and that might actually help you connect with them. Now, water spirits. So water nymphs love streams, so focusing on a rock in the middle of a stream would be a good place to start. Mermaids live in the sea, while sand spirits are like beaches. So meditating there would be very helpful for you to be able to connect with them. Once safely near the body of water, focus on your intentions of connecting with the water elemental. Stare at the water, listen to the sounds of the waves wash over you. Feel its energy and work on feeling the other spirit's energy. You can even touch the water and concentrate on it to help you connect. Now, fire spirits, despite being all around us, are usually the hardest ones to contact. You can find them in hot places or really anywhere. You focus on your goal of connecting with the spirit and feel the fire burning in your heart, as well as the heat of your body. Then work on feeling their energies. Now, air spirits often like mountaintops and open spaces, like meadows or fields, and they are also present everywhere. Now, to interact with them, you simply meditate and invite them over. Again, they really like people, so they might be actually one of the easiest ones to connect with. We're going to talk about elemental hauntings. So while elementals are generally helpful, some can be very malevolent. their hate could be triggered by certain humans or their actions, and sometimes they feel like they have to defend nature themselves. They could also have just been naturally malicious or even progressed over time to that nature because of all of the negativity around them. Some signs that an elemental is malevolent are that they appear as a deformed mix between a human and an animal. They have decomposing flesh. Sometimes a bad odor will permeate the air when they're present, and if they give you a piercing look with their eyes. One famous elemental haunting happened in Leap Castle, Ireland, where a deformed human-looking creature terrorized its residents. Another famous haunting was the Bell Witch haunting. So this haunting is actually very famous. You can look it up. I will at some point be doing a video on the Bell Witch haunting, or the Bell Witch in general. Now, John Bell Sr. said he saw a creature that looked like a cross between a rabbit, a dog, and something unidentifiable. Now, after he saw this creature, things went very downhill. Now, you can be haunted by an elemental for any reason. So these include being seen or targeted by the elemental or being followed. The creature hate humans or specific genders or even types of people. Or triggering the spirit into haunting you by causing offense with or without your knowledge. A elemental is haunting you. The things that it does kind of resembles a light poltergeist haunting. Fairies might move objects from one place to another, or you might see orbs of light floating around. Now, there are stages of an elemental haunting. So stage 1, prerequisite stage. So young elementals may first appear to you as a child or an older person. And they do this to make plans or to judge whether they are going to commence haunting you or not. The second part is the first stage. Now, the elemental spirit will supply you with unnerving manifestations. These are usually harmless, and they can actually progress into bad dreams. Now, the third part is the second stage. You will start seeing fading shadows, losing objects, and start having electrical disturbances. This is where the haunting usually starts to ramp up, and they start doing more complex manifestations. This usually happens after they have gotten feedback from your reactions. Now, the next stage is the third stage, and the spirit will usually attempt to project thoughts onto you as well as emotions. You may be confused or in a state of fear, and this will actually make the elemental realize that fear is the best and the most satisfying emotion they get out of you. Now, the final stage is the fourth stage, and the haunting will continue until it is driven out. So it won't just go away. You have to literally drive it out. And I'm going to tell you a few ways to drive the elemental spirit out of your home if you are being haunted by a malevolent one. Now, you can ring loud bells or make loud noises with metal pots and pans. You can place iron around the house, or you can actually wear it on you. You can smoke sage throughout the house. You can also mix pepper and vinegar in a bowl and then place that anywhere in the house, or you can simply just ask them to leave. Now, that last one only works if they are not vengeful. So hopefully, if you are being haunted by an elemental, it is not a vengeful spirit. Now, there is actually a prayer to heal millions of elementals at once. I am going to read the prayer, and I'm also going to put it in the info below in case you guys would like to keep it. So I do have it printed out, so I am going to read straight from it so I don't mess up any words. The prayer is, in the name of my mighty I am presence and my higher self, and by the love, wisdom, and power of the flame within my heart, I call forth the action of transmutation by the fire of my being. multiplied by the violet flame. I call forth this action on behalf of all elemental life. I call for that portion of the flame I invoke, and all that I am to go forth now to heal millions upon millions of elementals in the earth. I dedicate my life stream to the liberation of all elemental life, and I accept it done this hour in full power according to the will of God. Amen. So again, if you guys would like to keep that, I'm going to put it down in the info so you guys can have it. Well, remember that elementals are forces of nature. So essentially, you want to respect nature, you want to respect them. Next, with an elemental, make sure that if you plan on working with them, that it's not just to take, but also to give. So never go under the impression that, oh, I want something. You want to go under the impression of, what can I give? What can I help them with? How can I benefit them? And that would make them much more likely to help you. That would create such a powerful relationship between you guys. Check out my last My Paranormal Life video. Now, I'm not going to put this one in that category just because it is a quick update. It's not long. It is not a bunch of information. So now I have even more progressively been seeing shadow people. I saw a cloaked one for the first time the other day. And I even had Jeff get up and walk towards the place that I saw it to kind of see where, like, how close he would have to be in order to cast a shadow that dark. And he had to be basically standing right on top of the door in order to cast a shadow that dark. So that kind of disproved that it was anything, just simply casting a shadow. And then yesterday, we had gotten Sebastian, so this little guy, a sit-to-stand walker. So basically, it's to help him walk. He just kind of pushes it around. He cannot do that yet, but it is very cute, and he just plays with the front right now. Anyways, we were playing with it yesterday, Jeff, Sebastian, and I. I was sitting on the floor, and Sebastian was playing with it, and then I had turned it off. And now I know I turned it off. Now so then Jeff went to work at his garage, and I decided to like vacuum and clean a little bit after, like very shortly after he left, only like a few minutes later. So I had picked up the toy to move it, and I accidentally hit a button on the front, the one that would like play music, and it started playing. And I know for a fact that I turned this toy off, and we didn't play with it again between those times. And the button was clicked back on, like the on switch was clicked back on. So I turned it off again. It hasn't played again, but we did acknowledge that that was a little weird. Now, and then last night Jeff and I were sitting on the couch, and I saw a shadow glance over. I have a Ravenclaw banner hanging up. Now, I saw it, and the blinds were closed, and there was nothing casting shadows. It was nighttime, and it simply, like, went across the banner, like, across the wall that holds the banner. Now, last night I had a very disturbing dream, and it was basically Jeff and I were taking pictures. So in this dream, Jeff and I were taking pictures of our apartment. And because of the presence that I felt, and we were catching like orbs everywhere on camera. So then in a few pictures, I saw this figure, and it was just watching me in multiple pictures, which was very odd. It gave me chills. So, I mean, that could be me just freaking myself out, absolutely. Or it could be something kind of like telling me, hey, this, even though you have positive spirits around you, this one, it might not be. So, I have been getting a very off feeling lately about at least something. So I will definitely make sure to keep you guys updated on that. If you guys have any topics that you would like me to dive into, feel free to shoot me a message. I would love to hear from you guys. And if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys next time.